Utah. Gary Richard Herbert is Utah's 17th governor. He took the oath of office on August 11th, 2009. Governor Herbert is focused on 4 cornerstones to strengthen Utah's economy: education, energy, jobs, and the ability of the state to solve its own problems. As a result, Utah is a premier destination for business growth, jobs, and an enviable quality of life. Under Governor Herbert's leadership, Utah has been recognized as the best state for business and careers by Forbes magazine and the best state to live in by Gallup.com, among other accolades. So please welcome Governor Herbert.
I know we have some here that's standing for President Obama, and that's okay. That's the American way. That's part of the system, and I applaud that effort. We need to find who we stand with and who we stand for, and then go out and work hard to get them elected. I just want to tell you, and you're kind of be on the cutting edge of some announcements here, we've received a lot of accolades in Utah for our successes economically. As some of you know, Utah has been named the best place in America for business for the 2nd year in a row by Steve Forbes and Forbes magazine. Somebody knows a little bit about business.
Go Utah!
We've done that by doing things that historically, by Republicans and Democrats, by the way, have given us good positive economic results. We've cut our taxes here in Utah to take the burden off of business and off the people. We've reduced our rate from 7 to 5 in Utah and flattened them out so everybody's playing by the same rules. We've also gone through and done regulation reform where we've talked about the regulations that are out there that are just getting in the way of business, takes away their profitability, in fact inhibits their ability to create wealth and create jobs. And in addition to that, we've got a good educated labor force. We've provided an environment where the private sector is empowered, and consequently, our economy is growing at the 2nd fastest rate in America right now today. So those are the principles here in Utah. And our good friend Romney, our favorite adopted son of Utah, understands those principles. I've said to Governor Romney, you don't have to look any farther than Utah. If you're looking for an opportunity to turn this country around, just copy what's happening in the state of Utah.
Right?
And I'll show you evidence of that. Not only are we creating jobs coming out of this economic downturn, in Utah the economic downturn looks like a V, kind of a little inverted, a small U. The economic downturn for America is low and flat and long. Again, because in Washington, D.C., they have not done what we were doing here. They're making it, in fact, well, we in Utah have cut our budget, made the tough decisions, lived within our means, don't spend more than we take in. In Washington, they've done just the reverse under this administration. In fact, in Utah, we have 22,256 state employees. You have to go back to the year 2000 to find a smaller number than that in Utah. We are doing more with less. In Washington, D.C., this administration has grown the federal government, just employees alone, by 13% at a time we can't afford it. It shouldn't be a surprise because we continue to spend more. We're borrowing 40 cents out of every dollar we spend. Anybody with any common sense at all knows that is not sustainable.
Yeah.
We've got to, in fact, balance our budget. You know how much $15 trillion is? Now we're at 16. But if you spent $10.5 million every day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, it takes you 4,000 years to spend $15 trillion. Now that goes back to when we were building pyramids and Moses was parting the Red Sea. That's a long, long time. That is not sustainable, and we need to have somebody who understands that and turns this country around and gets it on the right track. Governor Romney is the guy who understands that and will in fact turn this country around. Now, I know Governor Romney personally. He's been a great man in the private sector. He's been able to understand how the system works, the free enterprise, free markets, individual liberty, coupled with individual responsibility. He knows what's made America great. He's been a great success story in his own right. He understands that opportunity ought to be given to everybody. Everybody ought to have the opportunity to have the same kind of success that Mitt Romney's had, and many others in our community that are great success stories in the free market. He understands that principle, and that's an important part of what he brings to the table that the current administration doesn't have.